they have to face their responsibility towards their citizen, and that is Nnamdi Kanu. There is nothing they can do about it. They will have to. Thank you.
Have you ever visited our leader this time around in the DSS custody? If yes, how do you see his physical and mental fitness? I'm talking about this time around.
This time around, yes. Yes, I have seen him. I've been to see him. Yes, I have been to see him. And in fact, Nnamdi Kanu is mentally and physically fit. More mentally fit than those roaming free, but who are not free indeed. And I'm sure people would know that, or people already know, our people already know that he is, I mean, why do we call him Ohamadike? He is the strength of all. He is our strength. So he is mentally the most strongest that I've ever known. We discussed, we spoke for quite a while. We talked about his health, which is not something that people are not aware of. It's not, he's healthy, but he needs a physician who would deal with his heart issues. Everybody knows that he has heart issues, and that is very, very, very imminent. It must happen. Because you can't keep someone in solitary confinement and not provide that person with the medical care that he requires. They're just continually making a fool of their country and who they are. So we discussed the children, but most importantly, we discussed the struggle and other things which I could not think about. I couldn't even remember. But he remembered them all. He was asking me these and that, and I was like, wow. I was trying to remember some that I've even forgotten about. So we had our discussions, and he is as sound and clear as the crystal ball. That's who he is. So when he kept asking me these questions, I thought, oh my God. I started to praise and hail him, and I said, Ohamadike, Ohamadike, the man that speaks for the helpless, the man that saw the light and said, no, I want my people to experience this light. I praised and hailed him, and I threw accolades, and he was smiling. And I said, Odowu, Kamanozozo. And he stood, there he is, in his usual glory. He stood tall, like the demigod that he is amongst men. He stood. And he was laughing. He said, Ibiakwala. I continue to praise and hail him. I continue to sing praises of him. And he said, okay, you know you are my kiss of death. I don't know. I'm sure some people play chess. I'm not a very good player myself. But my husband is a good, he's very good at chess. And the little one plays chess as well. So when I came back, because I didn't have internet whilst I was there, I had to ask the little one, whoa, can you tell me what is the kiss of death? I mean, what does that mean? And he showed me the moves of what it means to be kiss of death. I'm sure I don't know if you play chess.
Yes, I do. I play chess very well.
Oh, great. So that was what he said to me. He said, you know, you're my kiss of death. And I laughed. Okay, so he's very sound mentally. He has all his... I mean, I'm sure that is what people know him to be. most intelligent of them all, the most mentally articulative man. So I don't think there's anything I'm saying here that is new. So he is very sound and clear as a crystal ball in terms of mental and physical strength.
Okay, let me ask you this last question before we take some few seconds or minutes break. Have you ever been contacted directly or indirectly by any Nigerian agent?
Contacted?
Yes.
No. Absolutely not, no.
Okay, thank you very much. You are listening to Tough Talk on Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE, coming to you through Radio Biafra London. You are hearing the voice of our First Lady, Wada Uchechi Kanu. Today is the 3rd day of September 2022. We shall go into a few minutes break so that when we come back, we shall continue in the second part. Please don't go away.
You are listening to Talk on Radio Biafra London.
Worldwide phone call comes continues. BBC, a propaganda machine and racist media set up by the Great Britain to oppress the oppressed people of Biafra. BBC, your media war propaganda of 1967 that led to the genocide of over 3.5 million Biafrans, men, women, and children, did not stop us. Do you know why? Because we are the sons and daughters of the great lion from the tribe of Biafra. Our minds are made up. Your shenanigans, antics, and fake gutter media will not stop us either. We must and shall restore Biafra. Biafra worldwide phone call campaign alert continue. Now pay close attention. Be polite when you call BBC and use the following prompt when you call. Hello, my name is. You tell them your name. I am calling to ask about BBC policy of propaganda against the victims of genocide. Since you are obsessed with telling lies about Biafrans, here are 5 more questions to consider. Now, this is the question to ask BBC. We are witnesses to BBC racist coverage of terrorism, implying that black Africans' lives don't matter. Yet the same BBC rallies the whole world at the slightest terrorist incident in the United Kingdom. Here is the second question. But when it comes to Nigeria, BBC not only hides terrorist killings, but they slander the victims and survivors of terrorism and genocide. The third one. When will the grand patrons of lies and hypocrisy, the BBC Fake News Network, make a documentary about the daily slaughtering of Nigerians by Fulani terrorists and the government of Nigeria, whom you protect so that London may plunder Biafran's resources? The fourth question. Is the oil and gas of Biafra the reason that BBC is obsessed and terrified by the agitation for freedom by the victims of
You are listening to Talk on Radio Biafra London. You are listening to Talk on Radio Biafra London.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. We are on Tough Talk with our First Lady, Nwada Uchechi Okukano. That is who you are hearing her voice all over the world. Today is the 3rd day of September 2022. Therefore, we must continue to the second part of the questions, please. Welcome back to the second part.
Thank you.
Yeah, as I said before about you've answered the question. Now, what do you have to say about IPOB structure? What do you have to say about IPOB structure? And some people try to thwart this established structure. What do you have to say personally? Please, go on.
Thank you. IPOB structure. IPOB, in fact, first of all, the mantra of IPOB is one family. The IPOB structure that I know has been set up as the backbone upon which this movement relies. That is a structure. And in every organization, if you do not have a structure, you will collapse. Just as a human being, what is our structure? It is the spinal cord that you have, the spinal cord, the spinal line, the spine. That is the structure. If that is tampered with, if you have a problem with that, you will collapse as a human. You will not walk. So the structure has been set up there in IPOB. IPOB has her own structure, which is her backbone upon which she relies. There is an hierarchical organogram. I mean, this has been since 2014, 2015. In terms of the organogram, that's what I'm talking about. The organogram has been since 2014 and is hierarchical rather. It is put into place to enable the effective functioning of IPOB. And that structure stems from the head of Directorate of State through to the last official within every IPOB chapter. The Directorate of State spearheads some time ago, during 2015, I'm sure those who were in IPOB then would hear a lot of, IPOB is being spearheaded by the DOS, IPOB is spearheaded by the DOS, DOS is Nnamdi Kanu, and Nnamdi Kanu is the DOS. I don't know if nobody sings that mantra anymore, but that is the structure that I know that Nnamdi Kanu has set in place. The Directorate of State spearheads the movement, and I'm sure we are all aware that Nnamdi Kanu is also a member of DOS. Hence, any operation outside of this very structure, honestly, should be disregarded. And let it be worthy of note that Radio Biafra, which is why I am here today. I mean, I could go on BBC and the rest of them, but Nnamdi Kanu understands the power of media. He knows that if you have media, you have the power. The rest of the media, censored or sponsored by the government, they will always censor your news. They will always twist what you say to be something else. And then Nnamdi Kanu will say to you, Radio Biafra is where you come and you get the unadulterated news or information. So let's not forget that Radio Biafra is the mouthpiece of the movement. There could be other movements, other places in the world. There are several movements, everybody trying to make sure that we get Biafra. But IPOB, under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, Radio Biafra is the mouthpiece of the movement. And as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will always say, Radio Biafra is where we worship. It is where we worship. For those trying to thwart the established structure, the very purpose, the very spinal cord upon which IPOB lies on. They need to be aware that they are functioning outside of IPOB, being led by Nnamdi Kanu. And when you function outside of a defined structure, you are deliberately sabotaging the objective of that very movement. Let me give you a biological example. Some people may think I actually didn't go to school. During the cell formation, I'm giving a biological example as to how you function within a structure. During a cell formation, which is referred to as mitosis, some say mitosis, some say mitosis, the cells would split into two sister cells to create a bigger function. And what is that bigger function? That bigger function is known as the tissues. Now, these tissues would come together to create organs, and the organs create a functional system. Now, if you relate this to the system of IPOB, you will understand the hierarchical structure that I'm talking about. Therefore, when you function outside of a functional system, you are an exoparasite. I mean, a lot of us, we did biology in secondary school. You function as an exoparasite, and your objective is specifically to penetrate the functional system to cause harm or mishap. That becomes your job. That becomes your prerogative. That becomes your objective. That becomes your vision as an exoparasite, to cause mishap, because you're functioning outside of the mapped structure or system or functional system. However, if an exoparasite decides to establish a symbiotic relationship, I want our people, for everyone who is under the sound of my voice, to understand this very example that I'm giving. If you fail to understand it, ask your brother, ask your sister, ask your lawyer, or ask your doctor, whom you think might understand better. If an exoparasite decides to then establish a symbiotic relationship with an already established system. If you remember, I did say I will try to not be ambiguous, for us not to be bound by the complexity of ambiguity. So I'm trying to speak in a simple term and in a simple tone so everyone will understand me. Now, if an exoparasite decides to establish a symbiotic relationship with an already established system, then there must be a form of agreement, underline the word agreement, between the system and the exoparasite. Outside of any agreement, outside of these very agreement, the exoparasite must be regarded as an intruder whose intention is to cause harm and to cause chaos. To explain this further, think about the grazing cattle, cattle. The grazing cattle and an egret. Egret is E-G-R-E-T. Whilst the cattle grazes, the egret feeds on the fleas. You know, the fleas that you find on the back, on the skin of the cattle. The egret feeds on the fleas on the cattle. So they both are benefiting from their relationship. So whilst the cattle is grazing and the fleas are, eating off the skin and disturbing the cattle, the egret is, as light as it is feeding on the fleas. And the cattle has no problem whatsoever because the egret is helping it. But imagine a dog wanting to jump on the back of a grazing cattle. What will happen?
Of course, the cattle will, there will be a fight.
Absolutely. So that is, when you try to thwart a structure, a system, that is what happens, because the egret comes based on agreement and feeds on the fleas, and they both cohabit. So I think that is my answer for those trying to thwart the structure set by Nnamdi Kanu and his DOS members. And that is where IPOB is spearheaded from. Thank you. Sorry, excuse me, I was coughing.
Let me repeat the question for the interest of the public. I think I off my telephone without knowing it. Do you at any time feel bullied or threatened by any individual, organization, or government agent? Go on.
Yes, I have been, bullied and threatened. I have been bullied and threatened by an individual. No, not at all. But organization and governments agents. In fact, the government. There's S there because governments and agents. Yes, absolutely yes. But that at some point in the future, I will explain better. Of course, we all know. I'm not here.
That you better do in the future because everybody listening to your voice, we like to know the governments that are sponsoring this bully or threats. Please, everybody. We don't joke with our first family. That is the reality. Please go on.
Like I said, yes. For individual, I don't know. Not that I'm aware of any individual bully. I'm not one they bully anyway. You can't bully me, unfortunately. But threatened by organization or government, of course, Nigerian government, yes, I am threatened by their steps that they have taken. And I'm also threatened by the steps of other governments, such as United States. Like I said, I can just leave it here for now, because I will just leave that for now. But yes, I am being threatened by at least, yes, these two governments that I've mentioned. And in fact, if I could buttress on that, I have been threatened. I've been threatened by, there would be organization, because it wasn't just one person. So these people would be in a dark van. We have experienced that before. Myself and my husband, we were being watched, and we made the necessary moves that we had to. Also, since his incarceration, yes, I have noticed such movements once again, and I took the same necessary step. So yes, to your question.
Okay. Now, what is your general counsel or advice to the family members of this global movement, the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide? What is your general counsel or advice to every one of us?
Thank you for that question. I'm not here today to tell us all the related history that we already know, Chinedu, all the quotes that we already know, all the books we've all read. I for one, I try to implement what I read in a book, which is why I have a problem with some certain sects. And when I say sect, I mean people who gather and create mantras. It becomes something they say without thinking about it. So when I read the book, I try to relate it to life, whatever I read. And that makes me an exemplastic. I am exemplastic, an eclecticist. Having said that, we know the story of every history. So, but how do we apply it to our current situations? How do we? People read Bible, people read Quran, people read a lot of things. People get history from the past and they put it together. That is what I do, and I learn from it, and then I separate points that I would like to use. We also know Winnie Mandela. We try to always use Mandela to at least make reference when we talk about our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And a few times as well, I've been asked questions about Winnie Mandela, and people just throw comments and a few parts of it. Some people, I don't know how aware they are regarding the real life of Winnie, the things she did on the ground, whilst no one would see her, screaming on social media and faffing about. She was doing a few things, even though she was stopped by government, which I've just answered your question here. Now, my general counsel would be that as a people, Now this counsel goes to people who fall under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, those who believe in his cause, those who believe that he is the hope of the hopeless and that he's the light in our darkest path. And he is the voice that speaks for those who cannot speak or fight for themselves. This counsel is for those people. And from what he said to me as well, we must remain focused and avoid any distractions whatsoever. As you have observed, there has been a lot of noise over the past year, which has been aimed at distorting the vision of the struggle. Always have it at the forefront of your mind about those we have lost. Have it at the forefront of your mind those who we have lost in the struggle, who died with the hope that our people will be liberated from the claws of our oppressors. In the coming months, or in the months to come, and as has been in the last year, you will continue to be exposed to a lot of noise. You will continue to be exposed to a lot of noise. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will always say, they will try, they will always try. Always try. If IPOB is not doing anything good or right, nobody would want to distort what we are doing. All the things he has predicted, everything, the way he says it, it happens. He made mention of, in the coming months, some of you will sell out, some people will sell out, and you will see the evidence. They will start running mad just by their own hands without you chasing them. They will start running. That is the words of my husband, not me, said it. That is his prophecy, one of his prophecies. But we should always remember that those who gave their lives gave it in the hope that our people will be liberated. So their blood must not go in vain, be spilt in vain. But learn to listen. I don't know, but I know that some of us have learned over the course of time. We've learned to listen. I've spoken to some people and they don't listen. And when you don't listen to me, I'll stop talking to you. I wouldn't bother. I don't have time to waste, to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Nnamdi Kanu said, listen to the words that will add value, and keep you on track and in line with the vision of IPOB led by him, that is led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I can understand our people's nature of usurping authority, which has always ended up causing us damage as a people. I was on outreach for the objective of our people in the United States to come together. And I gave an analysis. I said something, and I will say that thing again today, because I haven't even seen that video. It seems that the reason why I want everyone to pay attention to this. Pay absolute attention. It seems the reason why a lot of our people join a group or join meetings or join someone now, but unfortunately this is not someone now. This is not someone now meeting. This is freedom fighting organization. But it seems the reason why a lot of people join groups is not primarily to participate in helping the group to achieve its purpose or objective, but wanting to win and create a clique systematically with the intention of introducing their own selfish vision, eventually causing mayhem within the main group as a reason to create their own visionless group, which always, it ends up nowhere, dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. You split, you start your own, you split even within yourself and keep splitting. Opposite of mitosis. The opposite of the biological example I gave, opposite of mitosis. They end up maligning people from the main vision of the original group and making them visionless. Now these people become more confused, more disjointed, and more directionless because they hate the original group and have no clarity of purpose whatsoever. This has been the mantra, this has been the motto, this has been the steps and the structure of our people. Multiply this stupendous ignoramus by, let's say, 10,000, 50,000. That is equal to where we are today. Worse than we were ever. Worse than we ever were. I leave you to ponder on that. I leave you to go back and perhaps listen to what I've said and see if you can make any sense of it and analyze it and try to pinpoint if that has been the case. Let's remain focused. That is the word I have for you from my husband, our leader, your leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of this very movement. I am not talking to another person who runs a movement. I am not talking to another person who runs another name of Biafra fighting organization. I am talking to the people who fell under the power of Nnamdi Kanu. To remain focused and steadfast. Remember the teachings he has taught you. All these years, he kept saying it. You don't listen. Everything he has said and taught for the past how many years, it seems like he never said a word. People are distorted and confused and behaving like they don't know a thing. He said, you need to be strong. Be without fear. That is his word in the face of your enemies. This is his favorite quote. Be brave and upright. Upright. That God may love thee. And that evil may not befall thee. Speak the truth. Always. Leave backbiting and underground digging to make sure that your brother falls into the pit. Leave it behind. Speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death, even if it makes you appear foolish, even if it makes you appear weak. Speak that truth. Remember to focus on our goals. We have a goal. The rest is just noise. Noise. Absolute noise. Ad feminam. You can write this down, or you can replay it. These are Latin words. If you delve into psychology, this will make more meaning. Ad feminam, ad hominem fallacy, ad hominem abusive, ad hominem circumstantial. These are all noise. They are noise. They make you lose focus. Ignore this noise. And always bear in mind that there is something called power, which is the ability to alter, to direct, or influence another's behavior or course of event. That is what we have. That is what every IPOB member who is under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu has. Which ad feminines, all the people causing or trying to thwart the structure which he has suffered for, which he has bled for, are trying to thwart. They have none. Remember, this is IPOB, and we always win. Always, in the end, we win. Thank you.
Dear woman, thank you very much for being here. But before you go, I would like you to also make your closing remarks using our dialects, our language. You are an Igbo woman, so please talk to us closingly using Igbo language. Ure asụsụ do anyị gwa ya okwu ka amatakwa na ị na-asụ na ịwụ nwa afọ Igbo. Ndewo, go on.
Ndewo Mazi. As Hamadike would say, okwu Igbo asụsụ eluigwe. Asụsụ eluigwe. I would have screamed IPOB, one family, IPOB, if I would get a response. But I would say that for us all. Achọrọ m ikele ndị be anyị. Achọrọ m ikele ụmụ Biafra niile. Ma ndị kwetara n'odudu Nnamdi Kanu, ma ndị na-ekwetaghị. Ana m ekele mmadụ niile nke na-anụ olu m n'abalị a. Ọtụtụ mgbe apụtabeghị m bịa kwuo okwu, kama ihe gbasara unu na-eche m, ọ na-eche m uche. Amakwana m na unu hụrụ m n'anya dịka m si hụ unu n'anya. Eji m aka a na-ekele ndị niile na-agba mbọ ịhụ na onye isi anyị pụtara. Na-ekelekwa ndị n'ebe ha nọ n'ekpere ma ngamije, n'ihi na anyị bụ IPOB, anyị bụ ọnụrụbe nwanne agbara ọsọ. O wejiri mara anyị. So anyị tie mkpu si IPOB, anyị etie one family. Kedu ihe ọ pụtara? Ọ bụ ịdị n'otu. Ka m were aka kelee mmadụ niile n'ịbịakọta ka ịdị n'otu, n'ihi na anyị ga-adịrịrị n'otu. Ma anyị adịghị n'otu, oge ka anyị na-emefu oge. Ka anyị wepụ iwe, ka anyị nwekwa ndidi, nwekwa nkasi obi, n'ihi na ndị anyị hụrụ n'anya nwụchara anwụ. Eze eluigwe anarala mkpụrụ obi ha n'udo. Kama anyị ọ bụ ndị dị ndụ, ka anyị wepụ iwe, wepụ ọnụma, wepụ ekworo, bụrụ onye nche nwanne anyị. Ọhamadike kwuru okwu nye iwu ka anyị lekọta onwe anyị, onye ọbụla lekọta nwanne ya, ghara ị na-egbu nwanne gị, ghara ị na-egbu nwanne gị, ka anyị ghara ị na-egbuchi onwe anyị, ka anyị nọrọ na nche, ka anyị nọrọ na nche chebe onwe anyị, ka anyị nọrọ na nchebe nke onwe anyị, n'ihi na ilekọta anyị, ime ka anyị nọrọ n'otu, ime ka ọ dịrị anyị na mma, bụ ihe ya ma ji nọrọ ebe ọ nọ today. Ihe o ji nọrọ ebe ọ nọ taa na ahụhụ ọ na-ata bụ ka anyị nọrọ na nchebe. Nchebe m na-ekwu okwu awụ ka anyị ghara ịnọ na mmerụ ahụ, onye bịa ya o megide nwanne ya, merụọ nwanne ya ahụ. Ọ bụ ya bụ ihe kpatara o ji nọrọ ebe ahụ, ka anyị niile nọrọ n'udo, nọrọ n'otu, ịdị n'otu n'ịhụnanya. Ndị niile ka nọ na-akwado ihe ya nwa hiwere na mbụ, ndị na-esorobeghị ikuku eburubeghị ha, ikuku eburubeghị ha. Mgbe ị na-eji ama onye hụrụ gị n'anya mgbe ị na-anọ ya, otu ahụ onye ahụ si dosa ihe ya, gị hapụrụ ya ahụ otu ahụ. Ọ bụ ya bụ na ị hụrụ onye ahụ n'anya, gị lekọtara ya onye ahụ, kwadoziere ya. Ọ bụrụ na onye ahụ kụrụ okoko wụ flower, I believe, gị na-akwadoro ya ahụ, na-achabi ya otochiche ebe niile, ịchabie ya, gwọrọ ya ahụ mmiri, mezie ya, ga-gburu ọgụ ka ịdọpụ ya, ka ịkụrụ ya kopụ na onye ahụ nọ ya, ka m bupụ okoko a n'ụzọ, ka ọ pụọrọ m n'ụzọ, ka m nkọ nke m. Otu a ka ị ga-esi ezi na ịhụrụ onye ahụ n'anya. N'ihi nke a, ndị niile n'ezi na ha hụrụ Nnamdi n'anya, Nnamdi Kanu n'anya, hụbiga ya oke, bụ ndị nọ agbanyeghị nsogbu niile bịara n'ụzọ ha, agbanyeghị ọnwụnwa niile bịara n'ụzọ ha, ma ha guzokwa, ha ka guzogidere na ndụmọdụ ya, ha ka guzogidere na nkụzi niile ọ kụziri, ha ka guzogidere I'm looking for a word for pillar. Ha ka guzogide na mgbazi olu ọ gbaziri ha. Ọ bụ ndị a bụ ndị mma ọnọdụ Nnamdi Kanu nọ n'ụbọchị taa, n'ebe ọ nọ, na ihe o kwuru n'ebe ahụ. Ebe ọ bụ na aga m ekwu okwu a n'okwu bekee, ka m mkpọzie mmadụ ole na ole aha, ka m were ohere a kelee ndị niile nọ na Directorate of State, ndị na-akpọkwa m ka ha mara otu m mere, na-agakwa ije nọ n'ime ya, ime ka onye isi anyị pụta. Ndị niile nọ n'okpuru Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bụ Ọhamadike one of Biafra land. Gakwarị na ndị a na-akpọ media warriors. Amaghị m ihe m ga-akpọ okwu Igbo na gallant and unshakable. A na-akwatu ha akwatu, ha bụ oke osisi. Nnamdi Kanu, ọ na-agwa ya onye ukwu, ọ na-agwa ya onye nta. The media warriors were the arms, were aka aka IPOB ji arụ ọgụ. Achọrọ m ikele ha ka anyị jisie ike Tweet Tuesday anyị na-eme. O chetara m ya, ọ jụrụ m ya ka anyị jisie ike bunye ọkụ, kwanye ọkụ na Tweet Tuesday. Ozi ọwụla anyị nwụ ka anyị si na Tweet Tuesday mee ka ntị ndị iro anyị niile nwụrụ ọkụ. Sikwarị na Mazi Chinedu ọkwa mgbe anyị kwuru okwu otu ihe si na-aga, ọkwa onye mbụ ọ jụrụ m ajụjụ ya. Unu jisie ike ka ihe ọ hapụrụ n'aka unu hapụ imebi. Ọ bụkwa na-ebu nye unu kama amaara m na unu amụtala ezigbote ihe n'aka ya. Unu amụtala ihe niile ọ na-akụziri unu. Ọ bụkwa ya bụ ihe bụ na mmadụ ma ihe akụziri ya ihe, ya esoro ihe ahụ akụziri ya na-eme ya otu ahụ. Ọ bịa bụ amamihe. So ekelela m unu ndị nwe m, ndị Chineke chọrọ mma, ndị dịka echi, n'ihi na echi a na-agwụ agwụ. Ahụ m niile bụrụ ọnụ ọ gaghị ezu ikele unu. Were eguzogide m n'ọnọdụ Nnamdi Kanu na mụwa, na-asị ka Chineke gọzie unu, chebe unu, dozie unu, kwadokwa nzọmụkwụ unu niile ruo, n'ihi na mgbe oge na-adịghị anya, na mgbe na-adịghị anya anyị ga-aṅụrịkwa ọṅụ ahụ anyị ṅụrịrị mgbe gara aga. Anyị ga-aṅụrị ya n'oge na-adịghị anya. Ka Chineke gọzie unu niile. Ekele m na-abara unu n'ọnọdụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Ọ bịa bụ ihe anyị na-akpọ on behalf of. Ekele m na-abara unu n'ọnọdụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, onye ndu nke IPOB worldwide. Ndewo.
Ndewo Nwada Uchechiokwu Kanu, our First Lady. Thank you for being here with us, and I believe and hope that also in the future that you will spare your time also to talk with us or talk to us through this Hello platform.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Absolutely.
much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There were Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. We have come to the end of this program known as Tough Talk, and you've had it all. Therefore, we must continue, and we must continue. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan, from here, it is simply good evening.
We have to come to the conclusion that there are no extenuating circumstances. You have been found guilty on all charges. Is there something you could tell the court before pronouncement of your sentence?
All we want is freedom. That's all we want. Freedom. Freedom for children to learn. freedom for men to work, for mothers to love, for a nation to grow. That's all we want. Equality. For everyone. You see, I am just one of many. A foot soldier. There will be many, many more to follow. So, there is no court of law, no police force, no army that will stop the tide of revolution from turning. There is no punishment that you can lay out in this court. No law your government can pass that will kill the will of the people. Because we will fight. We will continue to fight until all our people are free. And maybe we can even free you from yourselves. So you can hate us, degrade us, torture us, and kill us. But we will fight. And we will be free. One day, we will be free. Amanda! Amanda!
Solomon Kalushi Mashlango. You are hereby sentenced to death. You will be taken to Pretoria Central Prison on a date to be set, and you will be hanged by your neck until you die.
Therefore, the only election that makes sense in our place right now in Biafra land is a referendum. When we achieve a referendum, then all these nice things that people like Obi is talking about, how he's going to revive the economy and how he's going to put people to work, those are beautiful things to say. But for you to be able to implement those things, you have to have a just society to be able to do that. You have to be able to have people that are ready to receive the opportunity and want to participate to make their life better. You don't have that right now. What is Peter Obi going to do with millions of Aramajiris? How is he going to control the military? How is he going to control all the terrorist groups from the north? The banditries, Mieti Allah, Fulani Herdsmen, that are the fourth most deadliest terrorist group in the world by Global Watch on terrorism. And Saru, Al-Shabaab. How is an Igbo president going to control these terrorist groups? How is that going to happen? So the first thing is to secure our life first, before anything else. And the only way to do that is through a referendum. You have to be alive to participate in an election. Right now, our struggle has gone beyond economies. It's gone beyond a way of life. We are fighting for self-preservation at this time. Self-preservation. We're fighting to stay alive. And every Biafran should be able to see that. If you do not see that, it's either you're nonchalant, you don't care, or you're desperately wicked. One or the other. There is no other explanation. Thank you.
Radio Biafra. We saturate the whole of Biafra land. Wherever you are, just touch the dial 102.1 FM. Olu, Owerri, Enugu, Anambra, Abakaliki, Nsukka, Asaba, and many more. Radio Biafra, we got you covered. Radio Biafra, the first and the last. Good evening, great Biafrans, wonderful people and beautiful people. Permit me to welcome you this evening. It is indeed a great day, a day that Chukwu Kikabiama have made. And of course, we have come this evening to do the noble. All right, this evening, of course, it is indeed a great evening because this evening we will be having the erudite barrister of IPOB. He is a senior counsel of IPOB. I must try as much as I can to get this straight, to get it correct. Very, very important. But I will be having Barrister Ejiofor. He will be joining me this evening. And of course, and he will be talking to Biafrans this evening. I need to introduce him very well. It is important that we do that. Of course, he is IPOB lead counsel and senior counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the person of Barrister Ejiofor. And of course, he is a busy man, as you know, and without wasting further time, I want to see if I can connect him directly because of his time. We don't need to waste time, but of course, I need to welcome Biafrans wherever you are this evening. And if you are hearing the sound of my voice this evening, my name's Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha, and of course, we are live, we are direct, and it is indeed so. Radio Biafra is where you are. All right, I think I have Barrister already with me, and because of our time issue, let me see if the Barrister can hear me. Good evening, Barrister, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you clear, very clear.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Ejiofor, and we welcome you to Radio Biafra. It is constructive argument with Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha, and Biafrans all around the world have joined in this evening to listen to our erudite barrister, the man who has been doing exploits, of course, in the field of his specialization. Barrister, we welcome you once again. Please, without wasting time, of course, I will give you a few minutes to talk to Biafrans, to greet Biafrans, and then, of course, we will get straight to the question. Over to you, Barrister.
Thank you so much. Good evening from here, Biafra. Good morning from here, and good afternoon. Thank you so much, Mr. Ikechukwu, for having me at the program.
Thank you very much.
The pleasure is not mine. We are, of course, I'm still working. We are fighting it on to ensure that our victory is actualized. And I can see green light as I speak to you. So something good is about to happen. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Barrister, and welcome. All right, Barrister, let's get straight to it. Of course, a lot of legal jargon has been spoken, and the laymen need to comprehend this evening, and that is why we brought you on, so that you can break it down to a layman perspective. Now, let's start from Kenya, Barrister. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted from Kenya and brought to Nigeria. Please, can you take us through in a nutshell what exactly transpired before we get where we are today? Over to you, Barrister.
Well, for that appreciation of the part of the entire part of the case, it's important for us to first of all understand what happened on September 14, 2017, because that is the origin of the entire problem. Of course, we are aware that on 14th of April 2017, our indefatigable client, Nnamdi Kanu, was granted bail by the Federal High Court at Abuja, and the matter was subsequently adjourned to October 17th for trial, and they left home for bail and abide by the conditions and terms of bail. So on between 10th and 14th of September 2017, Nigerian Army invaded his premises in an clear attempt to eliminate him. Now we established about 5 persons were killed, gruesomely murdered in the process. And and he eventually escaped by act of providence. So finally he found himself in the state of Israel. So wherein he deposed affidavit of facts of what happened in his home on 14th of September 2017. The facts of the incident, being an eyewitness account, was subsequently filed before Federal High Court Abuja here, inviting the court therein to inquire and investigate what actually led to the involuntary invasion of his home, a person who was granted bail by the court, who is apparently under the protection of the court, and without allowing him to come to court on October 17th for trial, the war was taken to his house in a clear mission to eliminate him. That application was not had until this year May. However, the Nigerian government, of course, moved to Kenya, abducted him in a commando style, kept him somewhere in collaboration apparently with the Kenya authority, kept him in an isolated environment, subjected him to all forms of torture. After spending 8 days, they criminally smuggled him into Nigeria and took him to court on the 29th of June 2021 without reference to us. During that illegal proceedings, he was ordered to be remanded in DSS custody. Also very interesting to note that when he was abducted in Kenya on the 19th of June 2021, 4 days after, or there are a few days after, the prosecution went to court without reference to us also. That was on 23rd of June 2021, and mentioned the case without reference to us. And then we have not been able to establish contact with him. So, unknown to all that were in court, obviously making preparation for him to report to Nigeria. Then on 29th, he took him to court. So when he was abducted in Kenya, because we are using the word abducted, having been confirmed by the court and established before the court that he was actually abducted, the Nigerian government, the good agent that went to Kenya to pick him, never subjected him to any form of extradition proceedings to determine whether or otherwise he has committed offense and that will require him to be extradited to Nigeria. These are international instruments which Nigeria is a state party to. They violated this international laws, convention, and protocol in an attempt to forcibly bring it to Nigeria. So, of course, we are aware the position of international laws. And even Nigerian law, which also refers to Section 15 of the Extradition Act, and also OAU Convention and Protocol on Prevention and Combating of Terrorism, and Article 12.4 of African Charter of Human and People's Rights. These are laws Nigeria is a state party to. So we filed an objection before the court that grounded on so many about 2 grounds. First ground is challenging the powers of the court to proceed with trial without first of all determining the manner in which was brought before her court. This fundamental issue was raised. The court the lower court never determined those issues. And the Nigerian government never resolved issues with us in that respect. So we went on appeal. And appeal found for us and said that what happened in Kenya is executive recklessness. And by violating international and local laws, that no trial in Nigeria, no court in Nigeria will ever try Nnamdi again.
All right, Barrister, sorry to interrupt you before you get to the appeal court. I want you to explain to Biafrans what is the meaning of jurisdiction, because people don't understand what jurisdiction is all about. People are saying no. Okay. Please go ahead. Explain to them exactly what is jurisdiction.
Let me explain it in a layman language.
Thank you very much.
You see, before a court will adjudicate or will handle any matter, the court will determine first of all whether the parties are proper before the court. whether the subject matter, the cause of action, what they call the cause, as such, who the cause have powers to investigate upon. Whether the court is properly constituted to handle that matter. And whether the court have powers, it have powers to look into that matter. If there's any vice of any form, which way not permit the court to proceed with hearing, it will first of all be determined upon. Because if the court had proceeded to conduct the trial or hear the case, then probably when we eventually get appeal court, and appeal court found that the court not supposed to move on with that matter, without first of all determining the fundamental issues raised before him, then that trial the court conducted will be a nullity. No matter how beautiful it has been conducted, has been done, or the length of evidence or the quality of evidence so far adduced before the lower court. So it simply means powers of the court to hear or adjudicate a particular matter or a subject before him. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much for clearing that out. Which means we are dealing with two issues here. Number one is jurisdictional issue, and number two is violation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fundamental human rights. And these two alone is enough to discharge and acquit him. Please go ahead.
Now, you see, let me explain this thing further. That was why I actually made effort in posting page 41 as contained in the legal document delivered in the Court of Appeal. When we talk about the start, and also we also have what I talk about Africa, it's being governed by a different principle of law. If you talk about that, the start can happen when probably someone has got when the proof evidence or probably the proof attached in proof of the charge are not established to face, or where the court has no jurisdiction, like in this case, to proceed with the hearing. The applicant or the person involved can be discharged. Now, there are circumstances under which a person's discharge can as well be acquitted. That acquittal can happen where an evidence has been given in proof of the case. Probably when the prosecutor has called one witness to give evidence in proof of the case, then and before the division of the court is challenged. In that case, the court will not stop at discharge. The court can also acquit because evidence has given. But even if the person hasn't been cross-examined, the law says you will discharge him and acquit. But what happened in this case is more fortifying, more stronger in terms than acquittal. And now let me say this to you. I will give you a live case. Sometime last 3 months, I was in a state to argue our application or no case submission. Some people were arrested, about 13 of them, and accused of being involved in some offenses. Evidence were led by the prosecution witnesses. Exhibits were tendered. And at the conclusion of the prosecution case, we file an objection. We file what they call no case submission, inviting the court to hold that evidence led by the prosecution witnesses are not strong enough to establish the bogus charge preferred against these people. Of course, then you must have seen your television over the social media then. Then the court, at the end of the day, found for us. The court accordingly discharged those 57 persons and acquitted them of the crime allegedly committed in the court judgment. Now, what these people did, on the day the matter was coming up for judgment, also the matter had a hint that the judge would discharge and acquit them. Our application having been found meritorious, they went and filed a different charge altogether. Sort of murder, belonging to a local society, sort of illegal possession of firearms, which is a different type altogether, which has no connection with earlier charge that they were discharged or acquitted. On the day the judgment was read before the court, and upon the conclusion of the judgment, they were served with this charge. And now, they quickly picked them up. they are still back to the court. So now, in this Oyendu's case, what happened is more than Akuta. Because assuming without considering to the fact, okay, assuming that the court discharged and acquitted him of these offenses or charge that has been struck out, some people can go and probably develop another charge, and which has no connection with the one before the court, and fight against you. Now, so I want to explain to you, for you to understand that what happened in Oyendu's case is more powerful than anything as the discharge of Akuta. Now, the court in judgment, specifically at page 41, I will read it for everyone to understand and I'll explain it. The court at page 41 holds that the consequence of this section, the court was actually referring to argument under section 15 of the Extradition Act, Cap E25, Laws of the Federation 204. This was a law ratified and operational in Nigeria. The court was assigned to this section and the court holds that the consequence of this section, is that the appellant, that is Oyendu, is prohibited from being detained, tried, or otherwise dealt with in Nigeria for or in respect of any offense allegedly committed by him before his extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. No court thus has no jurisdiction, I further hold, to try the appellant, that's Oyendu, on count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15, which were returned by it, being charged allegedly committed by that appellant, that's Oyendu, prior to his extraordinary rendition. In addition, by the possible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant, that's Oyendu, from Kenya to this country on the 27th day of June 2021, in violation of international and state law, the lower court, or indeed any other court, the lower court means the federal high court, or indeed any other court in this country, Nigeria, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant, and I so hold. So this decision is extant. It shows that you can never investigate him again. You can never present any charge against him. You can never file any charge against him. He can never be subjected to any trial whatsoever in any court in Nigeria. So the decision is more powerful than even Akuta on the charge in principle. So that's why they are indelible. And they have no option than to obey the decision of the second appeal. So I believe I've explained it in a manner people will understand. So what happened in his case is more powerful than Akuta and this guy. In Akuta, somebody who is acquitted of an offense can still be arrested on a different offense and charged to court. But in this case, he can never be charged on any offense whatsoever in any court in Nigeria. That's the decision of the court. So go on.
Barrister, so can you explain to me the term? Because the way I see it, it appears that the Attorney General is trying to make something out of nothing. Can you explain that term to me and Biafrans and our listeners? Making something out of nothing, because that's basically what the Nigerian government is trying to do in this matter. Please go ahead.
No, what happened is that placing something, if I can understand you, placing something without, placing something on air.
That's correct. That's correct.
Now, what it means in effect is that the duties of the court to defend that matter, to try only before now, before the decision of this court is not there. So the court cannot proceed when there is no jurisdiction. So that's what it means that it cannot place something on a person and expect it to stand. It must fall. That's that principle. So because you must have power, you must have jurisdiction to stand. You can't just stand on the air. You must have a ground where you stand. But in this case, the lower court, the federal high court has no ground where you stand. Where you stood before we went to court of appeal. So that's one argument that we cannot play something or nothing and expect it to stand. So that is really of thing. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
All right, no, brilliant and it's excellent. Okay, talk to me now the way forward, Barrister. Of course, the law is on our side. What is the way forward? Because as I know, and from what you are saying, the federal government of Nigeria is holding your client, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, illegally at the moment as we speak now. What is the way forward? Please go ahead.
The way forward is simple. They have practically, as I have demonstrated before now, run out of option. The only option available to them, are you with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Which I stated before now, is option for them to go to court appeal. If they are convinced that they can succeed, we have no problem. Right of appeal is a consular right. Now, they cannot go to court of appeal without obeying the other court.
They have to release him first.
They can't go to Supreme Court without obeying the order made by the court of appeal. So you must pause yourself, because as you speak today now, as I speak to you, Ikechukwu,
yes,
Chinedu is being illegally and unconstitutionally held in custody of the DSS. There is no court order today sanctioning his foreign detention from 13th of October. That judgment was delivered till date. So he's now being, in the eyes of law, he's now being illegally held in the custody of DSS. He's now being unconstitutionally held in the custody of SSS. So that's what we are now. And as it stands today, Nigerian government is now incompetent of orders made by the Court of Appeal on 13th of October 2022. Now, and they cannot go to Supreme Court to challenge the judgment of the Court of Appeal without obeying that order. So you cannot be incompetent of court order and be exploring or seeking a suitable remedy for Supreme Court. No. Because he who goes to equity must go with clean hand.
Absolutely.
And we have military authorities that say that when an order is standing, you must obey that order first before coming back to lay a complaint. So the local obey before complaint. I will have cases of that, lot of cases. The same case of action against the federal government. The federal government is still stand. Federal government went to international court. However, it was argued. Another was made. International order was made. Directly asked to call off the industrial action. The action went to court of appeal to challenge it. The court of appeal said, no, there's an order made by the National Industrial Court. You already in contact of this order. Go back and obey the order first and come back. Go and obey this order. Then come back and demonstrate their anger before us. We also have a case of Chief Chinedu against FRN. West Supreme Court mandated the federal government to go and obey the order of the appeal before coming to it. So only in this case will not be an exception. So we have the federal authorities sanctioning the position. So the only option we have today is to release him unconditionally. The court didn't say, please release him to Mr. XYZ, no. Or release him to Ikechukwu where you are, no. The court prohibited foreign detention. In the judgment of this court, the court prohibited foreign detention. The foreign detention where is being kept now. So everything they are doing today in regards to Oyenduma and Kano's right is tainted with illegality. So and we are exploring aggressively legal options that will compel immediate obedience. I will not discuss it in this platform, but we are making serious progress. And I can assure you we are seeing green light. We shall not discuss here. We are seeing green light. We can take that to the bank.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister. Barrister, I know you're a busy man, and of course, I promised you that I'm not going to keep you for longer. But before I let you go, Barrister, I want you to give some assurance to Biafrans because people are waiting. The celebration is on, but somehow it is still on hold and they are waiting for the climax. What assurance will you give to Biafrans that our erudite leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will be with us very soon? Please go ahead.
My brother, it goes without saying You see, like, how can I explain this? What is playing out now is not unexpected. It's not unexpected. I'll end at that part. It's not unexpected. And because what the autocratic government of Nigeria Spain put in place, the kind of resources they put in place in effectively and successfully carrying out abduction of Nnamdi and Kanu from Kenya is massive. It's monumental. So, but today, they cannot go further than here because law is on our side now. Their own law, they are not the Kenyan law. Their own law. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Right.
Their own law is not on their side. What happened them today? So what is stopping us is their own law. They cannot. It's settled. They cannot go further than this. I can assure Biafrans all over the world. Take it from me. I've done it. We have done it before, and we're doing it again. But we've done it again actually. So the point is that they should be as rest assured that Nnamdi will out as soon as possible. And what I know, I will not say is the time and the day, but Nnamdi is coming out as quick as possible. And when it comes out, I will carry a bit and let the world know. But just go home and sleep. We are on top of the station. And we are doing everything legally permissible to ensure that the right thing is done. And as I assured you, the Nigerian government is totally run out of options. They have no remedies available to them, available to them. And I wish you have a position of the government of the court. You will see that government is watertight. There's no way you were escaping. You can't escape. There's no way you can escape that government. It's watertight. So that is the position.
All right, barrister. As you can hear the barrister say, go home and sleep. And of course, if there is anybody who can do it, it is our legal team. They have done it before in 2015, and I don't see any reason why it should not be repeated. Barrister, the last question, barrister. Now, talk to me about compensation, because we're talking violation of his fundamental human rights. And of course, there should be some sort of compensation that will go with it.
Of course, you know, before now, we have a suit to file against the federal government for extrajudicial release of Nnamdi and Kanu. In that suit, before COP 5, we are inviting the court to interpret relevant sections of international laws and conventions, which I never said before now, which Nigeria has grossly violated in an attempt to abduct and eventually extraordinary release of Nnamdi to Nigeria. In that suit, we are asking for damages of 50 billion. And thankfully, interestingly, like this is now, the questions are inviting the lower court, high court to answer. The questions of law, they are inviting the lower court to answer in that suit, has been exhaustively dealt with in this appeal. So what we are doing on 14th of December when the matter is coming up, is to submit this appeal, this judgment of an appeal, and ask the court to award them this as requested. So they must be heavily compensated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, barrister. And of course, I thank you so much, of course, for making our time coming on air to clear the air for Biafrans. And of course, all the lovers of freedom who has been listening to us. Thank you, barrister. And of course, we will still celebrate because the big one is still coming. Thank you very much.
Sure.
All right.
God bless you. Thanks,
and bless you too. All right, there you have it. And that was our erudite barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, breaking it down for us here to a layman perspective so that you can understand what is happening and how it is being played out. But one thing though you need to know and you need to bear in mind is that we have won. There is no two ways about it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always said, I will defeat you at your courts. And that is exactly what played out. And I want to thank our able legal team, of course, led by Barrister Ozokome and, of course, Barrister Aloy everybody Stefani Ejiofor, Aloy Ejimako, and the rest of the team for a good job that they are doing. And of course, this will earn them the greatest legal team of the year, because they have done noble. Even with the limited resources, they have achieved results, because the matter is over. It is over. What the zoo is doing now, of course, is the last kick of a dying horse. They have to obey. They have to obey the decision of the Supreme Court of the land, the highest court of the land, which is the appeal court in this instance. All right, great Biafrans, I don't have much to say this evening. You have heard it from our barrister. And it is our responsibility, of course, to now and then bring them up here so that they can explain to Biafrans what is happening, because this is the platform, the official platform of Biafrans all around the world. It is Radio Biafra, for goodness sake. And if there's any other place that this need to be said, it has to be on this platform. And of course, it is constructive argument with Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. Of course, this evening, today being the 18th day of October 2022, it is a Tuesday. And of course, I know we did not start the way we normally start because of time constraint. And as you can see, the barrister is a busy man. He needs to run around to begin to do what he needs to do, because Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must come out as soon as possible. And of course, that's why we have to let him go quickly. But of course, it is constructive argument here on Radio Biafra, and of course, we will be leaving it here.
This is Constructive Argument on Radio Biafra with Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. Bring your argument and we've got the solution. Constructive Argument. We hit below the belt. Radio Biafra. We've got you covered.
All right, of course, it is Radio Biafra, and you can bet on it. We've got you covered. And of course, the person you heard is Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He is IPOB lead counsel, and of course, a senior counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And he is the person that you have heard from this evening, explaining to Biafrans, to a layman perspective, what is going on, what has unfolded in court, and what is still happening. I will take a quick break. When I come back, we start summarizing.
Radio Biafra. We saturate the whole of Biafra land. Wherever you are, just touch the dial. 102.1 FM. Olu, Owerri, Enugu, Anambra, Abakaliki, Nsukka, Asaba, and many more. Radio Biafra. We got you covered. Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
All right, it is Radio Biafra. Of course, it is constructive argument here with Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha. And of course, an update. Most of our people have been abducted. This is what is happening these days in Biafra land. They go around abducting our people. They are killing them in secrecy. And of course, most of them are not even brought to court. Unbelievable. But you can trust IPOB leadership, and of course you can also trust our erudite legal teams. They are doing what is necessary to ensure that our people who are incarcerated, those who have been abducted illegally, are released. And of course there are names of our people that was released by IPOB leadership. And of course, as you know, there was a press conference by IPOB legal team with regards to those who have been abducted. I think, let me see if I can find this information, very, very important, so that I can update Biafrans on that. It is important. All right, let's see. All right, Radio Biafra is back in Olo area. Kindly tune in to 102.1 FM. All right, you can receive Radio Biafra in Njaba, some part of Mbitolu and Nisu local government area. All right, the areas are also covered by Omoaka, Okwodo, Nkume, Ata, Amandoba, Omondoba, Ekwe, Amuri, Orodo, Ejiama, Obiato, Afaruku, Oji, and some other axis. So Radio Biafra is back on these areas of Olo axis. I'm looking for this. All right, let's see. Very, very important. I want to tell you what the zoo is doing. The evil that the zoo has been doing, and that has been abducting our people. Now, this is a press briefing, of course, with regards to the disappearance of Igbo and Ibibio men and women arrested / abducted on suspicion of being members of the indigenous people of Biafra and associates of Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, and all the rest. All right, this press briefing happened yesterday, the 17th day of October, and this was actually from the lawyers of IPOB. I just want to give you the names of people that have been listed here, and these are the people. Some of them are even missing. We don't know where they are. They don't bring them to court. If they have killed them, we don't even know. But the names I have here, we have Ikechukwu Henry, Joy Godwin Udo, aka Idara Gold. You know about Idara Gold. This lady disappeared long time ago. But the good news is that Idara Gold will be going to court tomorrow. I think she will be appearing in one of the magistrate court in Abuja tomorrow, the 19th day of October. Idara Gold, that is the name that has been going viral all this time around because she was abducted for no just reason. And of course, she will be appearing tomorrow in Abuja Magistrate Court because IPOB leadership, we are working hard to ensure that we don't abandon our own. And this is the principle that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established, and that is where we stand. All right, the name goes on: Emeka Ngonadi, Barrister Pius Awoke, Chinedu Oba, Igwe Johnson, DK, Obonna Joseph Aja, Kinsley Onovo, Kenneth Ojima, Fortune Okezie, Joseph Okafo Eze, Emmanuel Onyibe Chinonso, Uket Godwin, Obonna Christian Ndubisi, Eze Ernest, Chukwuemeka. I think there is a name that I omitted here. Let me go back. That's Obonna David. That's correct. And we have Uket Godwin. I think I've called out Uket. I have Obonna Christian Ndubisi, Eze Ernest, Chukwuemeka, Ibele Meto Chukwu, Emmanuel Ike, Reverend Cletus Egole. They even abduct reverends. My goodness me, and pastors. Unbelievable. We have Pastor Philip Chinedu Egole, Chinonso Anyanwu Kelechi Okeke, God's Power Chilemu. We have Chukwuma Nwokike. And just to mention a few, because it is quite a lot of them. And if you ask me what on earth or what crime has these people committed, I will tell you absolutely zero. Nothing known to law have these people. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. But we thank God because, what we do in IPOB is that it is an oath that we have taken. It is a stand that we have taken. It is a foundation laid down by our leader. You always hear our leader say it, we don't abandon our own. As long as we know where you are, as long as we know where they kept them, we will find them and we will bring them out. Remember Idara Gold. It's been a while that she has been abducted, but finally she is coming to court tomorrow. And by the grace and mercies of Chukwu Kikabiama, these men and women will be released to rejoin their families. Very, very important. All right, I want to read out something. Then, of course, I will bring this program to an end. There is something important I need to read out. If you will bear with me, let me see where I kept it. There we go. I think that's it. All right, what I'm reading out is Is that correct? Let me see. No, not this one. Not this one. There is something I actually I wanted to read. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can find it on another platform. Very on which we hold to disappear. You will not see it again. But let me see if I can get this. It is important that I lay it out here, that I read it out for Biafrans so that you can hear. Because this is what Radio Biafra is all about. It is all about information. We ensure that we... All right, this is it. Okay, I titled it because this was actually an extract I got from Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor on his Facebook wall, because he keeps on updating Biafrans, what is happening. He ensure, he has been busy, as you can see, doing so many press conferences, and this is in a bid to, of course, update our people, which I think is actually very brilliant of him. All right, I titled it, "No court in Nigeria have the jurisdiction to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a result of his extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria," says the appeal court. And of course, this is what you have heard this evening from our erudite barrister, Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He have explained it in detail. But let me just read this. This is an extract from that court, the court ruling of the appeal court, as Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor posted on his Facebook wall. He said, "A pleasant afternoon, Umuchineke. We are delighted to make public the paragraph of the Court of Appeal holding in their judgment, which buried the frivolous criminal charge against Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and totally prohibited the federal government of Nigeria from coming up with any criminal charge or indictment against Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This holding is more fortifying and sacrosanct. It is the last straw that broke the camel's back, a boil in the scrotum, and can never be circumvented. There is no escape route for the oppressors here." He continues, "Please carefully read the erudite holding on the lead judgment, allowing Onyendu's appeal, I beg your pardon, as reproduced herein and possibly infer layman interpretation for proper understanding of the judgment." And of course, that was why we brought Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor here on Radio Biafra platform, so that he can break it down. A layman can understand and comprehend. All right, and that is exactly what he have done. But let me read this part of this judgment, very, very important. It goes on like this. "The consequence of this section, I hold, is that the appellant is prohibited from being detained." Of course, the appellant is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Appellant, of course, is the term that is used in the court because he is appealing in the appeal court. So he becomes an appellant. And of course, whoever, like the Nigerian government, we can call them the respondents. That is how it is called in the legal world. So the appellant is prohibited from being detained, meaning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be detained. What I'm reading out for you now is the judgment of the appeal court, some part of it, the most important and vital part of that judgment. And it's very, very important that you listen and pay close attention. The appeal court said that the appellant, in this case, who is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is prohibited from being detained, meaning that what is happening now is against the law. What is happening now in terms of his detention, continued detention, is illegal in the eyes of the law, because the court has ruled and said that he can never be detained ever again. So the DSS and the federal government of Nigeria, including their attorney general, whom I don't know what law school this guy went to, whether he went to Daurakau Law School, that he doesn't even know what the meaning of jurisdiction is all about. When I asked Barrister Ejiofor to explain jurisdiction here, I was actually doing so that Malami, wherever he is, will listen and learn. Remember our leader used to say, if you're coming to listen to Radio Biafra, you must bring your pen and paper. All right. If you are Lamajiri, you must bring your slate. Malami, bring your slate. So, he goes on to say that the appellant is prohibited from being detained, tried, or otherwise dealt with in Nigeria for or in respect of any offense allegedly committed by him before his extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. Do you know what this means? It means that no court in Nigeria has the jurisdiction, has the local standing, or should I say, that even the federal government has no local standing to bring a matter before a competent court of law against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Appeal court has declared him untouchable. My goodness me, where have we seen such a ruling? Most of us don't understand the dynamics. You know, this is powerful. This is powerful. Remember, we keep on saying we want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be declared a prisoner of conscience, you know, and this and that. And we're actually expecting this thing to happen maybe from the United Nations or a United States of America. But surprise, surprise, beyond all imagination, beyond all expectation, a court in Nigeria actually declared our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu untouchable. You know, I think maybe when our leader comes out, some of us will relax, settle down, and read this judgment and understand what happened here. You know, when Barrister Ejiofor keeps on talking about this, most of us don't understand what he's talking about. This is huge. I say this is huge. That's why you heard Barrister Ejiofor screaming, because he knows as a legal professional that this is huge. I don't think I've seen this before. I don't think, though I'm not too conversant, you know, with the law as it is in the zoo, but I don't think I've seen this before. A court in Nigeria declaring our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu untouchable. My goodness me. Remember, what happens in the zoo is you might be arrested taken to court, I beg your pardon, and if you are acquitted in that court, the DSS will wait for you outside and rearrest you and bring fresh charges against you. But in this case, assuming our leader came to court that day and he was discharged, even the DSS cannot even rearrest him or reapprehend him or abduct him or whatever, because appeal court has barred them from doing that. My goodness me, Wachineke. He is Wachineke indeed. Even his enemies declared him untouchable. His enemies. Abaruchangene. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is. Unbelievable. All right, let me continue dishing out what this appeal. You know, these judges of appeal court, they will live long. I don't know, there are still men left in the zoo that speaks the truth. I don't know that there are men who will defile all the tyranny, or men who will defile all the autocratic government of Nigeria and still pronounce the truth. Unbelievable. To the extent that they actually barred the zoo. Remember, Buhari used to say, when the so-called Igbo leaders or Igbo elite went to him and said, please release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to us, Buhari said, and I quote, I cannot do anything. I will allow the courts to do what they have to do the decision. That's what Buhari said. But you know what that was? That was takia. It is called what? Takia of the Fulani extracts. They lie from their teeth. They even lie in their dreams. So when he was telling the Igbo leaders that, he was lying because he knows, maybe in his mind, he knows that nobody will go against his orders. Nobody will do whatever, they will do according to plan. But surprise, surprise, these erudite judges of the appeal courts did what no person can do in that zoo. And of course, you wouldn't have blamed them because people are fearing of their life and security and safety. But this man said, to hell with our life, to hell with our security. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are untouchable. Nobody shall bring any charges going forward against you in any court in the zoo called Nigeria. So, The lower court has no jurisdiction. Now, this is the court of Binta Nyako, a very stupid woman. I don't understand. A whole judge. You know, the common thing, the easiest thing a judge always knows is jurisdiction. If you don't know about jurisdiction as a judge, as a magistrate, you have no business sitting on that bench. That is the first thing you should know. I am studying law. The first thing I learned in my introductory models was jurisdiction. You need to know about jurisdiction because it's very, very important. Do you know why? If you try somebody that you have no jurisdiction over, that trial can be, pronounced as a mistrial, and the person will be acquitted. So instead of wasting your time, the time of the defense, the time of the state, and the resources of the state, you need to know first, do I have jurisdiction to try this matter? If you don't, you strike it off the roll and continue. But that woman, that wicked Binta Nyako or Bingo Nyako or whatever the hell you call her, knows that she knows. I don't want to say she's dumb or she doesn't know what she was doing. She knows exactly that she has no jurisdiction to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but because she was working on the order of the master, on the order of the tyranny of the zoo called Buhari, she ignored this whole jurisdiction. And our legal team were screaming on top of their voice, no jurisdiction, please strike this off the roll. She said, I will not do no such thing. I will still go ahead and try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is unbelievable. And now a higher court has said it openly. Viva voce. Viva voce means in an open court. Viva voce. A higher court has said it. That the lower court has no jurisdiction. I further hold to try the appellant on count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15, which was retained by it. They retained those charges to continue, even though they knew they had no jurisdiction to try one Chineke. The Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. My goodness me. All right, these are charges allegedly committed by the appellant prior to his extraordinary rendition. Now, let me tell you something. It does not matter whatever crime you say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed. It is irrelevant. It is immaterial. By the virtue of your extraordinary renditing him back to Nigeria from Kenya, you have broken all laws, your international treaties and protocols, and that automatically cancels everything. That is how the law works. For those who don't know. My goodness me. All right, in addition, now listen to this, very, very important. What I'm reading to you is an extract from the judgment of the appeal court. In addition, by the forcible abduction and extraordinary rendition of the appellant from Kenya to this country on the 27th day of June 2021, in violation of international and state laws, not just international laws, not just treaties, but also Nigerian law was violated. Kenyan law was violated. Kenyan border integrity was violated by these cattle rearers. Can you believe this? The lower court, and indeed any court in this country, is divested of jurisdiction to entertain charges against the appellant. And I so hold, I love this. Honorable Justice Olu Dotun Adefope Okojie. Justice delayed is not justice denied. Justice prevailed through the grace of the Almighty Chukwu Okike Obiama. Ndewono Chineke, of course, signed by Sir Ifeanyi Ejiofor Esquire, KSC, IPOB's lead counsel. And this was written on the 18th of October, 2022. My goodness me, Omo Chineke, you have seen it. At the end, we always win. I say at the end, we always win. And once again, IPOB have won. Chukwu Okike Obiama have given us victory. What is left is just a completion of that which Elohim have done. And I want to thank you all for listening this evening. And of course, once again, I want to thank our erudite barrister, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, for coming through this evening to talk to Biafrans and, of course, to explain to them to understand what is happening. And he have given us assurance. He said, go home and sleep. Before you know it, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out, because as I'm talking to you now, he is being held against his will. There is no legality in the detention and in continued incarceration of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. My names are Mazi Ikechukwu Onoha, and of course, it is constructive argument here on Radio Biafra. From me, from here, it is goodbye, and God bless Biafra. God bless our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. God bless IPOB worldwide. God bless men and women of goodwill. But most importantly, together, we all shall see Biafra. Goodbye. God bless.
Led by
Saint Mazi Nnamdi Kanu,
humbly called on traditional rulers, aka Ndeze, town union, churches, villages, kindreds, Ndiamala, and all paternal and maternal homes to beg, hear our voice and hear our cry in this request to please do the needful now before it is too late. We ask all the people involved to beg, try and bury all the corpses we scatter all over Biafra land. For this one, they should say it they bring us spiritual and physical problem, and now we they suffer, we don't know. When you know the root cause of the sickness, the treatment now don't they easy. I beg my people.
Now we don't sabi the cause of the sickness. IPOB don't come with the solution.
The research wey you do show say some dead body don't dey up to 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and the death count. Now human being we go bury or na firewood. Everybody where this one concern, we IPOB dey beg una, abeg. Make una do something new, because anybody when person start the journey, when he never reach the destination, in heart no go come down. As we never bury our people, our heart never come down. All the obnoxious high burial demands, competitions, fees from churches, Ndiamala, Omona, in-laws, maternal and paternal homes, when they cause this delay and wahala for our people, I beg, make una try do something. Now all these things they cause, then they build mortuary, like said in the build
joint,
church, filling station everywhere for Biafra land. I beg, mortuary, na factory, na children's amusement park. No. A stitch in time saves 9. With the call, therefore, say make everybody try for 3 days when your person kaput, make una bury am. After, una go do the ceremony, una go do the effigy, we follow am.
Churches, traditional rulers, and other people that matters, I beg, make una chook mouth and chook eye and help us for this matter.
Because the person when they pursue cow, they call him name. If you no hold the medicine, he go hold the thing when they dose the cow. Now we they call una. And the one una talk, he go stand. I beg my people, make we comot this danger, comot our people from bondage. If una no do something, we the indigenous people of Biafra, under Saint Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no go waste time to do the needful so as to remove the yoke and our people from bondage. And soonest we go begin the closure of many mortuaries for Biafra land. The only dead body when we want make it there for mortuary, now the only one
we get case with them they treat.
And after they don't finish the whole thing, settle everything, make them bury them. Mortuary no be factory, mortuary no be industry, mortuary no be amusement park again, no be recreational center, no be children's park. Remember, person wey sell land burying dead body don't bury 2 cups. Shey you never know. Now we be the owners of the land, and we don't tell you now the time to cleanse our land now. Make una do the needful. Our land go dey calm, and our ancestors go happy wherever them dey.
Now the indigenous people of Biafra under Saint Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they bring una this message. Please, our heart they bleed to save our people. Ona bokoko wanu ya gakwuru ka osisi ọkọwakwanụ mmadụ ya gakwuru mmadụ ibe ya n'ihi na onye a na-achụ ehi na-akpọpụ ma o ji ọgwụ ya o ji nri ya ebe nwata na-ebe akwa na-atụ aka ma isi nne ya nọrọ ya ke nne ya ga-anọrịrị ya ọkụkọ sị na ihe na-esi aṅụ mmiri lewe anya n'elu na ọ bụ ebe ọnwụ na-egbu ya na-esi abịa. Biko nụ anyị ji ohere a anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra, indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB na aha mkpimkpi n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị nsọ na-arịọ ndị eze ndị ụka dị iche iche, ndị ọha obodo dị iche iche, ndị ụmụnne nna, ndị ụmụnne nne, nọsekwa nọsịrị ka ha biko nyere anyị aka dịka ugwu ka anyị buru ebele. Nchọnchọ anyị mere gosiri na ozu ndị a niile bụ nke ndị anyị nọ na mọchụarị anyị na-elibeghị so na-akele anyị ụkwụ na-epile anyị aja na garị. Biko nụ ka anyị mara na ihe anyị ga-eme lipụ ozu ndị a, hapụkwa na ihe ndị ọzọ sochiri ya. Anyị lipụchi ozu ndị a nwanne, anyị abịa n'obi emeghakwara ama ndị sochiri ya. Anyị na-arịọ unu onye ọbụla nwụrụ nụ were mkpụrụ ụbọchị 3 lie ya, bịa hazie ihe niile. Ihe mezikwanara emezi, a na-akpọ ya nwa mma. Biko nụ ihe ndị a na-ebutere anyị nsogbu ruo na a ga-eji mọchụarị na-akpa anyị ọgba ebe niile. Ozu a dọrọ n'ihu, dọrọ n'azụ, dọrọ n'ụlọ, dọrọ n'uko, dọrọ n'usekwu, dọrọ na palọ, dọrọ na senta tebụl. Anyị na-ele ya anya. Chineke igbe ozu mana m ụmụnna ma enwe ike iji amịrị igbe akwa ebe mkpokoro eso dị mma ma eji ihe eme ọla aka. Unu ma ihe m na-ekwu maka na nwata bee nne ya bee nna ya amara na ihe ọ ga-ebe agwụla. Anyị arịọ unu ka unu nwee ike mee ihe ugbu a mgbe chi na-efobeghị tutu mmiri asọwa ọgba. Anyị ma ihe iji na-ekwu ihe a, ụfọdụ mọchụarị nọ n'ala Biafra anyị ga-emechi ha n'ihi na mọchụarị abụghị ebe ụmụntakịrị na-aga egwuregwu, ọ bụghị ebe ndị okenye na-aga ezuru ike, ọ bụghị ebe a na-atatụ ihe n'ọnụ ma ọ bụ kwọ ngaji n'eze, ọ bụghị ebe a na-aga nlele. Ihe eji agba na ntị eji ya agba n'anya. Anyị na-arịọ unu ka unu mee ihe kwesịrịnụ ka ala anyị dere ji, ka obodo anyị dere ji. Unu cheta na onye ọbụla rere ala lie mmadụ oliole ozu labụ. Ihe abụọ apụle n'ahụ ka anyị nyere unu onwe anyị aka. Ihe meziri emezi a na-akpọ ya nwa mma. Anyị anaghị aba mba ma arịrịọ ka anyị na-arịọ unu. Ma ọ bụrụ na na-asịkwanụ na na-agaghị elebara ihe ndị ahụ anya n'otu ọ dị na mbụ ka ọ ga-adịgide, nwanne anyị enweghị ihe ọzọ anyị ga-eme na-abụghị ime ihe kwesịrịnụ, n'ihi na anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụafọ Biafra agaghị anọ ihe eri ọba anyị. Ozi a unu na-anụ ugbu a si n'aka ndị IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, na-abịara unu n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị ya nsọ. Ọ bụ ha na-akọ mgbịrịmgba maka na osisi nwa ọnwụ otu ya afọ ọ nụrụ ka ala ibe. Ndewo.
ISIS will enter the zoo and Chad unless, and this is from an Islamic newspaper. As I told you before, anything you hear on Radio Biafra is correct. I told you on this platform that they will come for you. You see, let me tell you one thing that people don't know because you don't know history. I forgive some of you because in your schools in the zoo they don't teach you anything. I want some people to actually go and sit down and study the history of Islam. Islam is the only religion that has never stopped growing. Islam is the only religion that has never stopped expanding through militancy and war. Others have stopped, only Islam. Christianity is based on convincing people, telling them about the message of hope and restoration of Yahweh Yeshua. Of course, immensely corrupted, that we know for sure. But Islam believes in expanding through war. And that war is coming. Now, I must be put on record, and which I can play it all the time for our people to also understand and listen very carefully. And I will say it tonight. And if you come to me in the future, I'll refer you to the broadcast of the 8th of June, 2015. And that I made this very comment I'm about to make now at precisely 10 minutes to 8 p.m. in the evening. If ISIS comes down into the zoo, of course they are part of Boko Haram anyway. If they fought, not if they, because they have forged an alliance already. If they launch any attack with the name of ISIS on the zoo soil, if you come to us to give us weapons, I will decline it. I will allow them to kill all of you before we mount any counteroffensive. Let me tell you one thing that you don't understand. Some of you claim you went to school, but you didn't go to school. Because if you went to school, you will understand how Islam works. Islam is coming for you. They must come for you. It's a M-U-S-T, must. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Only you can defend yourselves. This headline here is a confirmation if you need one. I think Abubakar said it yesterday. Today is being confirmed that ISIS is coming. Not just Boko Haram, but the real bad people that are coming. They need access to the oil, and they will get it to secure their financial base for their continued expansion within the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. The zoo is seen as pivotal, and Biafra land is where the resources that they're looking for is lying in. They don't trust Buhari anymore. Buhari was their godfather. They no longer trust him. I mean Boko Haram in this instance. Buhari, they thought, would give them Sharia immediately. Buhari saying, I don't belong to anybody. From that day, they intensified their bombing. Some of you cannot reason, you cannot see very well because you're blind. But at least you're lucky. You are listening to Radio Biafra. Very, very lucky indeed. I'm telling you the truth. Or else, I can't fufu in your blindness. It is that darkness we've come to shed light on, that you can see properly. If they enter the zoo, I will not command this army. I need guns and I have the men. I need guns and I need bullets. That's all we need. And then we win. I have been sounding this warning. I've been telling you, you think we are joking. They are coming. Your mothers will be raped. Your sisters will be married off as slaves. I'm telling you that now. Right as I speak, write it down. Biafra land will be decimated. Unless we equip this army to defend us. If we don't equip our army to defend us, in other words, if we don't march this year, it will be very difficult for us to recover. Forget all this nonsense. All these so-called pro-Biafra groups you're saying, HAUSA brought them out to confuse you. HAUSA brought them out. That is why they cannot say what we are saying or do what we're capable of doing. These are HAUSA groups and you are not listening. You are not listening because the devil has gone into all these idols that you worship. The devil has gone inside you to harden your heart, to blind your eyes that you can no longer see. That day I will tell you to remember the broadcast of the 8th of June 2015. I will tell you to go back to it. I need guns and I need weapons. If I don't have guns and bullets, the army of Biafra cannot defend your towns and villages. The sooner you get that into your thick skull, the better for everybody. You are black people, you don't reason, I know that for sure. But the sooner you take this very message seriously, the better for everybody. Or else you're finished. ISIS is coming. They will enter the zoo and Chad very, very shortly. Not as Boko Haram, they are coming in as their franchise and as their name dictates. ISIS is coming. If you like, you make haste while the sun is shining, or if you like, you can continue to be dumb and stupid. That is entirely up to you. I won't be there, but you'll be dead anyway. And Radio Biafra will not report it, and nobody will. If you like, you give us guns. If you like, you don't. We are trying to save you, not you saving us. We continue. What I am saying, our people are lame. They are weak. I am struggling to count how many men there are in Biafra land. There are no more men left. Weak, docile, and imbecilic. Weak. I don't know how we can take such people to war. I don't know how we can take men who are not men into battle and win. I am ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Nonetheless, we must preach this very gospel because man did not ask us to come. Chukwu Abiyama in heaven mandated that we should come. If not, that I was called to do this very work, I will not speak to any of you anymore. But Chukwu Abiyama said this very gospel must be preached, and we must preach it. I have prayed since yesterday up until now. My request is very simple. The same prayer I made in secret, I will make out here in the open. Chukwu Abiyama biko. Since it is your intention that your kingdom will be restored upon this very earth, I need men. I need men. I did not say boys. I said I need men. Those of them that you created to restore your kingdom, they should come forward now, not tomorrow, not next year. Chukwu Abiyama. You must bring them now. I did not say tomorrow. Because the insult is too much. It is beyond what any human being can endure. We want to go and get Biafra, or we die in the process, because we are better off dead than witness some of this nonsense going on. The level of insult is beyond what any decent human being can tolerate. HAUSA-SERVICE, they bring their cattle into our land. They desecrate our land. They kill us in the presence of our families and nobody does anything about it. And when the police attend, the police sit idly by as people are being killed by not a multitude of people. Only 4. Only 4 Hausa people can sack an entire village in Biafra land, and we call ourselves men. No, we are not men until we redeem our honor, until we look at integrity and say we must have a part of it. Until then, to be honest with you, this is Radio Biafra. Now is the time to come forward. I did not say tomorrow. Now, tonight is the time to come forward. 100 of us, and then we march. 100 and we march. The rest can come later if they want to. I'm tired of broadcasting. I want to fight for my country. I want to carry arms to defend the honor and integrity of my country. I want to avenge the death of 6 million people. I want Biafra to stand as a beacon of hope, freedom and liberty in black world. I want Biafra to stand as a testament to the glory of heaven upon the face of this very earth. I want Biafra to stand because my obligation to the dead outweigh that which I owe to the living. That is why Biafra will stand, and Biafra will come. 100 men, that's all. And we march. The rest can come later on. I no longer give a damn. The disgrace and the insult is too much. We must go and meet our enemies even if we have only machete and hose. It is far more better for us to go and meet them and die with a semblance of dignity than with this very humiliation which we encounter every blessed day. We must assemble as let us pray. For God in heaven, Almighty Creator, the ancients of the ancients, the maker of the heavens and the earth, you created everything that the mind of a living soul can imagine, but none created thee. That is why we say you are immortal, you are invisible, you are omnipotent. This very God that every generation who has ever had the grace of knowing thee have always testified to your goodness. That is the same God that we kneel and bow before. This God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help, even in this time of Janjaweed trouble, even in this time of Fulani rage and terrorism. Therefore we shall fear no evil. This IPOB shall fear no evil. Even if the whole world is against us, even if Britain intensifies their effort to cross this very light of hope in sub-Saharan Africa, even though they shake the mountains, even though the seas may rise, even though they may give all the weapons and ammunition to the Zoological Republic, no matter what they do, no matter how they ferment their rage, it doesn't matter to us. For God, Biafra is in the land of Biafra. We shall never ever be moved. This God of the ancients will help us now and forevermore. For Biafra shall come, and this Lord of hosts is with us. Biafra, the same God of Jacob, this same God of Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, this God that never abandons his people, this same God is our refuge, and we proclaim it unashamedly that this God that we kneel and bow before, we shall worship thee. For Biafra is your promise, your word is yea and amen. Instead of your word not to come to pass, heaven and earth will
cease to exist. Upon this very hope we anchor all our belief that Biafra shall come in our time, and we pray that it come this very year, that your glory may be made manifest in the lives of men, that we may kneel and bow before thee.
Radio Biafra. We saturate the whole of Biafra land. Wherever you are, just touch the dial 102.1 FM. Olu, Owerri, Enugu, Anambra, Abakaliki, Nsukka, Asaba, and many more. Radio Biafra. We got you covered. Radio Biafra, the first and the last. '67 was the year, a year not to be forgotten in the history of mankind, a year of massacre, mass murder, genocide against the defenseless people of Biafra, men, women, and children, while the whole world watched and get entertained with the precious blood of Biafra spilled. The world watched and did nothing. But there was a voice in the wilderness, the voice of Okokondem screaming, Omo Biafra, muru n'anya, onye ndiro gbara gburugburu na-eche ndụ ya nche. The voice of Radio Biafra, the voice of the voiceless, the voice of freedom. 55 years later, Radio Biafra is still defending humanity, bringing you news, information, analysis, revealing and exposing the kingdom of darkness called the Zoo Nigeria, saturating humanity with melody, music. Radio Biafra. We will never stop until Biafra is restored and beyond Biafra restoration. Do you know why? Radio Biafra, the first, and we are the last.
Obodo ga-enye anyị nri, obodo ga-akwa Mama, opportunity. Opportunity.
We, the global family of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, under the command and control of St. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they use this medium, they sound this trumpet loud and clear for everybody to hear them, both the deaf and the dead. Say, all these people, both big and small, in Biafra land, where they use the name of St. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB or ESN, they waka krukere, they commit one community or the other, just to grab body and other nonsense for our body in the name of thief, kidnapping, collecting of tax and rate, and different levies, even snatching of cars. Or write letter to people saying that to support ESN, then be ESN. Our hand no day at all. Our hand no follow, and they no follow for what we they do. IPOB, ESN, and St. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na brand name. We no they carry coal at all or do rough things. My people, we no know them, we no send them, and them no follow for what we they do. This once na another brand of Perimas in another style, in another form, and another shape for this cause. Every papa, mama, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, quick match. Advise your pikin or brother now for the leg where they waka krukere, I where they see sharply, they see am. Person where they put hand for water where crocodile they make shakara. Waiting they find my brother na palaba, and they go catch am. 2 was not there for the 10. If the dragon where they fly, bitch come you. Now through get the dance, then go play for you, and you must dance that dance. And now before you don't dance finish, your name go become obituary. But the workers of iniquity and the hired laborers, including their sponsors, in different shape and different countries and different towns and in different places, IPOB under St. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu go play Funa Surugede, and that music una must dance and it go play and it go show. 2 words no dey for the 10. As we talk am, na so it go be. Enough of our tower everywhere, whether na politicians or whatever send una, we no one know. Our dragon net go hold una. Remember, the fly wey no dey follow instruction or advice, dey follow dead body enter grave. We, the indigenous people of Biafra, under St. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no dey carry last at all, and we dey blow this trumpet because when it go begin happen, una go be thy kingdom come, while our name go be thy will be done. This message now from the Obungalicious, charismatic, indefatigable, great indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, the real owners of the land. They bring una this message. This now your opportunity to turn a new leaf.
Opportunity come Mama, opportunity. Opportunity. Opportunity come
Ndị Changoloko Nekwanufa, look at them.
Anyị onwe anyị bụ ọha ndị IPOB ma ụwa dum gburugburu bụ the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, n'okpuru onye ndu anyị bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị nsọ, ji oge a na-afọ opi ike a ka ndị dị ndụ, ndị nwụrụ anwụ na ndị ntị ike nụ ya na anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị nwe ala Biafra gbaa gburugburu na-ekwu ya ugbu a na-ekwusi ike na anyị agaghị anabatakwa kpọmkwem ime onye n'ihu itepọtị ndị ekperimọlụ mmebi iwu na ọchịchị mere ha evuru oke ha na-ete anyị site n'iji ESN, IPOB na aha dị nsọ nke Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na-eji egwu ndị anyị chandum n'ụzọ dị iche iche, ịnụ ụtụ dị iche iche, ịtọrọ mmadụ, ịzụ ụgbọala, iji ntụmaka na-ere mmadụ, aka point and kill n'ala Biafra. Mbanụnụ nke mere emekpuru ekete ọzọ emekwala. IPOB, ESN, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị nsọ bụ aha nwere agba eji aga mba, a na-enye oche pụrụ iche, abụghị ihe ndị na-amaghị nke ha ha riri ọkụkọ amaọcha ha na-adịghị mma ga-emebi na-etekwa une n'ihu ma na-erikwa ndị a na-eme ugu n'ụzọ dị iche iche. Ka m jụọ n'ụlọ, onye gbachara apriko gbaa igbe ụzọ zụtara eji eli nna ya, ọkwa onwe na-anaki ụgwọ mọchụarị ya ebe o werekwara aka ya gwuo ala ili ya. Chineke menụ n'ụlọ ebere. Ya mere papa, mama, broda, anti, ọnkụ, onye ọbụla ghe dụọ nwa ya ọdụ, n'ihi na ọkụkọ ntị ike ga-agbakwa egwu ike o. Ọ gakwa n'ihe n'ofe ebe ukwu na-aga njem ọjọọ agadịghị alọta. Anyị onwe anyị bụ IPOB, anyị na-ajụ ugbu ajigbu na-eri n'ihi na ọ bụ ekpegbuo nwa nwaala apụrụ ya gafe ama nna ya. IPOB anyị anaghị ekwukwa n'efu, ọ bụghị anyị na-emechi emechi ndị ọzọ a na-emebi emebi na-emekasị ihe. Anyị gbakwana nkịtị nwanne, ya bụrụ na nsogbu ga-adị, n'ihi na anyị gba nkịtị arụ abụrụzi omenala kama jishi nkụ agwụnụ. Ebe anwụ taa gada ịhụ anwụ mgbuo, dọrọ aka na ntị. Onye kpatara nkụ ahụhụ ngwere gada ịbịara ya ọrụ, ma ịnụrụ dum nwanne ị ga na ịnụ yọm. Anyị ga-amara ji n'ala n'ụlọ na nke n'ala n'ọtịrị, n'ihi na mpekelechi na-emebi ike kama mpekelechi ga-emebikwa n'anya ike, a na-egbupụ ike. Ịnụnụ onye na-asọghị chi dị m n'ike ka a marụ nwanne m ga na-etanye n'isi, agaghị m asụ ụbụrụ. Anyị ekwesịgokwa, ọ bụ ndị IPOB otu ezi buru nnukwu ibu n'okpuru onye ndu bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị nsọ wetara unu ozi ya.
ma ndị mara amara n'obu mmasị na mma na okwu ukwe kwesịkwa n'ịgba nlanụ gbamgbam n'ime ụwa nke ala. Ọ bụ gịnị?
Biko eso m na ndị DFO onye ndu yesterday na DSS eso na ndị DFO onye ndu yesterday 5th of December 2022 na DSS. Afọ mbụ Nnaemeka Ejiofọ, abụ m ofu lọya n'ime ndị lọyas na-ekpere ikpe. O nwere ozi ọ sị ka m zie ịma powerful ka m zikwuo ndị ọzọ ka unu nwee ike iri broadcast ya. Anya bụ ozi bụ na ya nụrụ na a na-enwe na nwere ndị chọrọ itinye sit at home 5 days sit at home from 9th of December 2022 to 14th December 2022 minus on the 13th of December 2022. O wee sị m ngwa unu na ndị anụmanụ na ya chi itinye that sit at home bụ ndị a chọrọ ka ya pụta from the dungeon ụnọ, na ndị a bụ ndị federal government amalami kwụnyere ụgwọ n'aka ha wee tinye ọgba aghara n'ala Igbo wee na-eme sit at home ma nke kwesịrị ime ma nke ekwesịrị ime. Ọ sị a na-edeclare sit at home 5 days n'ala Igbo na Disemba, ebe a makwa na Disemba ka ụmụ be anyị ji anatasị ụlọ. O wee na-asị na sit at home of 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th and 14th December na ya kansụl gị ya. Ọ sị m gwa gị ịma powerful, ma gwa Chinasa Nworu, ma gwa Edozie that they should broadcast it and cancel the sit at home they declare from wrongful source. The only person on us na when you declare sit at home bụ the head of Directorate of States, DOS, Chika Edoziem. Any other declaration by any other person from any other quarter is illegal, is unlawful, and must be stopped. Where's nobody, Igbo onye Igbo, you not support ihe ndị Igbo na-eme, you not support freedom a na-achọ, should enforce any sit at home on the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 14th of December 2022. Also, ka unu mata na like the criminality going on in Igbo land. Whereas na anybody involved in kidnapping, in killing of ndị Igbo is fighting against the cause of Biafran freedom. ịma na-egbu ndị chọrọ ịzụ azụ, ịma na-kidnap ndị chọrọ ịzụ azụ, ịma na-ezu property ndị chọrọ ịzụ azụ, ịchọ ka ị na-enweta their support. Also, that is not the spirit under which IPOB is formed, and that is not the spirit of the Igbo man to kidnap his own or to steal or rob or kill his own. Ọdụrụ na ọbara anyị, ọsọ ndị na-eme ihe a bụ recruited bandits. Nwere ike ị na-asụkwa Igbo mana ha abụrụzi ndị Igbo because of omume ha na-eme. So anybody from anywhere, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, a command si je kidnap ndị mmadụ, especially ndị Igbo anyị, ma ọ si je napụ ha moto ha, ma ọ si je zuo ha ori, ma ọ si je egbuo ha egbuo, na onye anwa abụrụ onye Igbo, na onye anwa abụrụ onye ya na ndị Igbo kwesịrị inwe mmekọ. That ndị Igbo in all ramification must fight against such people. Biafra or IPOB anaghị egbu ndị nke ha, anaghị egbu ndị Igbo, ha anakwụrụ na-egbu mmadụ, na ihe a na-achọ bụ freedom. So biko, one of the messages ọ sị ka nzie unu dị ihe a. So it's more powerful, you can rebroadcast it directly as I've said it, or if there to Chalice were there. But these are the words of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the 5th of December 2022 when we visited him in the DSS. Myself, Nemeke Ejiofor, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and Chief Mike Ozekome SAN. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. Amen. Because eso Nnamdi Ejiofor onye ndu yesterday na DSS. What you say with 50? Eso Nnamdi Ejiofor onye ndu yesterday 5th of December 2022 na DSS. Afambu Nnamdi Ejiofor. Abụ m ofu lawyer n'ime ndị lawyers na-ekpere ikpe. O nwere ozi ọ sị ka nzie ịma powerful ka nzikwuo ndị ọzọ ka unu nwee ike rebroadcast ya. Anya bụ ozi bụ na ya nụrụ na na-enwe na nwere ndị chọrọ itinye sit at home 5 days sit at home from 9th of December 2022 to 14th December 2022 minus on the 13th of December 2022. Owesi mungu unu na ndị anụnwa na ya chi tinye that sit at home bụ ndị achọrọ ka ya pụta from the dungeon ọnọ. Na ndị a bụ ndị federal government amalami kwụnyere ụgwọ n'aka ha wee tinye ọgba aghara n'ala Igbo wee na-eme sit at home ma nke kwesịrị ime ma nke ekwesịrị ime. Ọ sị a na-edeclare sit at home 5 days n'ala Igbo na December, ebe a makwa na December ka ụmụ be anyị ji anatasị ụlọ. O wee na-asị na sit at home of 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th and 14th December na ya kansụl gị ya. Ọ sị m gwa gị ịma powerful, m gwa Chinasa Nworu, m gwa Edozie that they should broadcast it and cancel the sit at home they declare from wrongful source. The only person on when you declare sit at home but the head of Directorate of States, DOS, Chika Edoziem. Any other declaration by any other person from any other quarter is illegal, is unlawful, and must be stopped. Where's nobody, Igbo onye Igbo, you not support ihe ndị Igbo na-eme, you not support freedom and action, should enforce any sit at home on the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 14th of December 2022. Also, I can make matter now. I like the criminality going on in Igbo land. Whereas anybody involved in kidnapping, in killing of Ndi Igbo is fighting against the cause of Biafran freedom. man na-egbu ndị chọrọ ịzụ azụ. Ịma na-kidnap ndị chọrọ ịzụ azụ. Ịma na-ezu property ndị chọrọ ịzụ azụ. Ịchọ ka ị na-enweta their support. Also, that is not the spirit under which IPOB is formed, and that is not the spirit of the Igbo man to kidnap his own, or to steal, or rob, or kill his own. Ọdụrụ na ọbara anyị, ọ sị ndị na-eme ihe a bụ recruited bandits. Nwere ike ị na-asụkwa Igbo mana ha abụrụzi ndị Igbo because of omume ha na-eme. So anybody from anywhere, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, a command si je kidnap ndị mmadụ, especially ndị Igbo anyị, ma ọ sị je napụ ha moto ha, ma ọ sị je zuo ha ori, ma ọ sị je egbuo ha egbuo, na onye anwa abụrụ onye Igbo, and onye anwa abụrụ onye ya na ndị Igbo kwesịrị inwe mmekọ. That ndị Igbo in all ramification must fight against such people. Biafra or IPOB anaghị egbu ndị nke ha, anaghị egbu ndị Igbo, ha anakwụrụ na-egbu mmadụ, na ihe a na-achọ bụ freedom. So biko, one of the messages ọ sị ka nzie unu dị ihe a. So ịma powerful, you can rebroadcast it directly as I've said it, or is there to cherish where there. But these are the words of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the 5th of December 2022 when we visited him in the DSS. Myself, Nnamdi Ejiofor, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and Chief Mike Ozekome SAN. Thank you very much. Kachukwu Obiama, Ozikwa anyị ncha niile n'aha Jesus Christ. Amen.
Hashtag, we are one family. Indivisible. Under Chukwu Okike Abiyama, we are the people of the East. Hashtag, we are one family. Indivisible. Under Chukwu Okike Abiyama, we are the people of the East.
The type of Biafra I want is the Biafra of my ancestors, the land of the free, where people are allowed to pursue their daily endeavors without interference from any higher authority, where individual and collective autonomy of every component, ethnic, nationality within Biafra will be guaranteed, not just by law, but by virtue of our existence as dignified human beings. A Biafra that will be demilitarized, a Biafra that will be forward-looking, innovative, creative, run on clean, green energy, not reliant on gas or petrol. A Biafra where the police will not bear any arms. A Biafra where people can live and die and you will not see an armed soldier anywhere around you. A genuine republic, a land belonging to people. We are going to cement this in the way we structure our society. A Biafra that will attract inward investments. A Biafra that will consider every necessity of life as being a human right. Not just in words, but in deed. A Biafra where there will be no strife nor rancor. A Biafra where all men and women will be equal, regardless of their religion, their sex, their creed, their orientation. A Biafra that will maintain open borders to every black soul on the face of this very earth. I do admit that geographically, in terms of landmass, we may not be that huge. The Biafra will operate, or should I say, run an open door policy. Every black person on the face of this earth will be an honorary citizen of Biafra, as long as you're not tainted by terrorism. That is the type of Biafra we want to run. A Biafra where Europeans will sit back and say, we never knew that such innovation and creativity will be possible. A Biafra that, should I say, the likes of Rwanda is a forerunner to, because today they are doing very well as well. That is the type of nation we are going to build. A truly democratic nation, not through the force of arms, but through dialogue and negotiations at all times. Nobody's going to lord it over anybody else. My ancestors never did. That is why we remain the only people not to conquer any other piece of territory, and nobody conquered us until the white man came and our temple fell in 1904. That is the land we're going to go back to. A Biafra of very many nations, a Biafra of autonomous nations within, governing themselves according to their own rules, where nobody will sit at the helm of power and dictate for others what to do. And we are going to accomplish it by the grace of God Almighty in heaven. Now, I know that constant references are being made to Southern Sudan. But I want to let people understand that even after the USA became free from British colonial rule, they also went through a very bitter civil war. And that did not stop them today from becoming preeminent in every sphere of human endeavor, militarily, economically, socially, in every way. So I do believe that is why I said, and I have said this repeatedly, I will never ever lead Biafra politically. Once Biafra is restored, my job is done. I want to be able to prove to our people what sacrifice means, so that those who will come after us will know how to treat our people with respect and with dignity. The thing about Africa is somebody gets into power and they want to stay there forever and ever, see if there is something in it. The little work that I'm doing for Biafran people is very tiring, very, very stressful. Sometimes I don't even know how these presidents manage to sleep. Maybe they don't love their people that much. If you love your people, you cannot sleep at night. Any president in Africa who's not suffering from high blood pressure, you are not sick. That means you're doing something wrong. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. If you're concerned about your people, then I expect you to be very ill at all times. So that is the type of Biafra that we need. That's the type of Biafra we're going to have. A type of Biafra where the wealth, well-being of Sub-Saharan Africa flows from. And I can assure you we are going to deliver it. We will deliver it. The Pan-Africanism that we talk about is going to start from Biafra, because mind you, I did not say that we're just going to have Biafra and then we shut up all the borders. No. What we want to do is to return to our organic political cultural arrangement. Should Biafrans wake up the next day to say, oh, we want to be the same country with Oduduwa, all well and good. Should Biafrans wake up and say, oh, we want to expand into Amazonia, all well and good. As long as you take the consent of the people with you, this nonsense that the Europeans did in Africa, we want to reverse it. That God Almighty heaven may look down and be very proud to say that at last, I have people who are after my heart. And that's what we intend to do with Biafra. Thank you very much.
Hashtag, we are one family, indivisible. Under Chupu Okike Abiyama, we are the people of the East. Hashtag, we are one family, indivisible. Under Chupu Okike Abiyama, we are the people of the East.
The type of Biafra I want is the Biafra of my ancestors, the land of the free, where people are allowed to pursue their daily endeavors without interference from any higher authority, where individual and collective autonomy of every component, ethnic, nationality within Biafra will be guaranteed, not just by law,